Morning, this is Prithvi from Mechanical Engineering Department. So today I am going to explain you about the curved beam experiment that is there in the syllabus. So as you know that curved beams you see in most of the applications. So the simple thing that comes to the mind is a hanger or a crane hook, right? So where you can see the profile of the beam as curved. And obviously whatever the stress analysis you do for a straight beam, so is not applicable for a curved beam. So curved beam behaves differently than a straight beam, and obviously whenever something is curved, the stress developed will be not only let us say tension or compression, so it will be the combination of both tension as well as compression. So that means some of the fibers will be under tension and some of the fibers will be under compression. So in this experiment you are going to learn that. So here, so which will be the fiber which will be under tension and which will be the fiber which is under compression, and finally you are going to find the maximum bending stress. So it is on the outer fiber. So the experimental setup looks something like this. So it have a simple curved beam, so which is in this case a hollow circular beam, so which is bent like this in the form of a L. So at the end of that L you have a weight which is hanging. So the setup is a very simple one like this, and you can see here the strain gauges which are used to measure the strain in this case are mounted on either side of the beam. So one on the inner side, other one on the outer side. The inner one obviously will be under compression and it will be measuring the compressive stresses, whereas the outer one, which is you can see here, will be measuring the tensile stresses, right? So obviously it's not a stress that is going to measure, it is going to measure the strain. So finally you're going to convert that into stresses, right? So it measures the strain which is compression, it measures strain which is tension. So here the setup is a very simple one, and you have two strain gauges which are mounted something like this, one on the inner fiber, other on the outer fiber. And you know that in any of the curved beam you also have something called as a centroidal axis and a neutral axis, right? So and in a straight beam, obviously the centroidal axis and the neutral axis will be the same, whereas if it is a curved beam, so that is going to be changed. So that means the centroidal axis is nothing but a geometrical central axis, so will be exactly at the center, whereas you know that the neutral axis will not be central, it will be offsetted for a certain value. So that is nothing but, we call it as the eccentricity, and we know that the eccentricity is nothing but the difference of the radius of the centroidal axis minus the radius of the neutral axis. So that is the value of eccentricity you are going to use later in the formula. So here in our experiment what you are going to do is, so you are going to place a weight at the end of a lever, something like this, and you are going to change the weight for different cases. So when you add a weight, obviously the strain will be developed both in the inner fiber as well as the outer fiber, which you are going to measure using a strain gauge. So in this strain gauge, so when you do the experiment, the value whatever strain you get here will be in negative, whereas the value what you get in the outer one will be a positive value. So you have a combination of negative value as well as the positive value which you are going to get, and the formula you are going to use to calculate the bending stress in this case is sigma b is equal to mby by ae rn plus y. So which is nothing but a derived formula from a simple bending moment equation, which you know is sigma b is mb into y by I. So where I you know is nothing but the area moment of inertia. For this, in this case it's a hollow circular cross section, right? So here you can calculate the value of the bending moment by just multiplying the load applied with the distance between the centroidal axis and the applied load. So when you do so, you will get the bending moment that is applied onto the beam, and you can also get the cross section area, as in this case it is hollow, so pi d naught square minus ei square by 4. So that will give you the cross sectional area of this curved beam. So once you get all this value, you can substitute that in your bending stress equation, and the bending stress you already know the value of mb, you know the cross sectional area, you also know the eccentricity, you know the radius of the neutral axis, which you can get from the formula which is there in the handbook, design handbook. So you can use that Rn value. That Rn value depends on the cross section. If it is a hollow circular thing, the Rn value, Rn formula is different. If it is a trapezoid, again the Rn formula is different. If it is a square, again the Rn formula is going to differ. So you can choose the value of this Rn or the formula for this Rn from the design data handbook, right? So here y is nothing but the distance of the fiber on which you are going to measure the stress. So obviously in this case I am going to find the maximum bending stress. The maximum bending stress obviously will be on the outer fiber. So here the y, whatever you are going to take, will be nothing but the distance of the fiber, outer fiber from the neutral axis. So that will be the value of y, and in most of the case it will be nothing but the radius, okay, the radius of the outer fiber. Okay, so that is what is the value of y you are going to substitute here. So finally using this formula you are going to find the bending stress in this particular curved beam. So you are going to do this for 3 to 4 trials. So by changing the load you are going to apply, and you are going to measure it using the strain measuring device, so which will give you the value of strain directly. Later on using that you can calculate the value of stress. So this is what is the simple experiment on the curved beam. So where you are going to find the bending stress on the outer fiber of the curved beam. Hello students, as I explained in the theory, so this is how the curved beam setup looks like. So you can see it is in the form of a L, so with the base which is fixed here and the other end, so which is free. So the weight is suspended from the free end of this, and the distance between the weight at the point where you apply the weight and the axis of this shaft is 256.7 mm, and you are going to place the mass on this end of the curved beam. So here you can see the setup. So you have two strain gauges. So one here on the outer fiber, other one here on the inner fiber, and these two are connected to the channel of this meter. So at A and B. So you have, it is having a 4 channel. So here the inner fiber is connected to channel number 1 and the outer fiber is connected to channel number 2. And in the setup you can see here we can toggle the knob between channel 1 and channel 2. Suppose you want the value of strain on the inner fiber, so you have to turn it to 1, and if you want the value of strain on the outer fiber you have to turn it to 2. So this is, you toggle it and get the value of inner and outer fiber strain, right? So the setup is very simple. So it has only 2 strain gauges which are mounted, what you can see here, and this is the free end of the lever. So here in the trails you are going to add different weight on this, and you are going to measure the value of strain which you get here. So what you have to do initially is, so turn the knob to 0, so that is turn the knob to 1, so where you have to measure the strain in the inner fiber, and you can adjust it such that you get 0 value on the display, so which indicates it is now calibrated. And now when you add the weight, so you are going to get the actual value of strain on the inner fiber. So right now you can see it is 0. So it may toggle slightly, so because of the variation in temperature or even in the variation of the electricity, so there will be some changes in the value. It's okay. So it is now 0. So now as the knob is set to channel number 1, it is going to measure the strain on the inner fiber. So I'm going to add a weight here and see what happens. Okay, you can see it is now displaying -007. So that means as it is an inner fiber, it is under compression. So that's the reason it is showing a negative value. So that indicates the strain on that inner fiber is a compressive strain. So this indicates the compressive strain. So once you get this particular value, you can add one more load. Okay, so and you can measure the strain. So like that you can go on adding different weight and you go on measuring the strain on the inner fiber. So you can repeat the same thing even for the outer fiber. So what you have to do is, so remove everything. Okay, toggle the switch to channel number 2. Again, you can calibrate it so that you get approximately 0 value. So if you don't get, so you can take it as an error. Okay, so it is some 4. So whatever value you get, you can subtract it by 4 now. So you can just see now when I add a load. Okay, you get 14. So this 14, so as already it had 4 initially, you can subtract 4, so you can take it as 10. So it is plus 10. So here obviously you are going to get a plus value. The reason is, so it is now measuring the strain in the outer fiber. So strain in the outer fiber, we have toggled the channel to 2. So it measures the tensile strain on the outer fiber. So this is how you're going to do the experiment. Again, keep on adding the load and go on measuring the strain in the outer fiber. Okay, it is 24. So that means if you subtract 4, it will be 20, and you can see if your values are correct, so the strain you're going to get will be almost linear. So you know that till the elastic limit, so it has to be linear values. So if you're doing the experiment properly, it will be most of the time a linear variation. So this is how you conduct an experiment on the curved beam. So the last thing which I have to tell you is the radius here, the inner and outer radius. So inner radius of this is 19.4 mm and the outer radius is 25.4 mm, so which you need for the calculation, and obviously that will be given in the manual, which will be supplemented later, right? Okay, so this is a experiment on a curved beam.